On this episode of Ghost Hunters International, the team travels to the Isle of Man to investigate a medieval castle of terror.
A lady in a black dress came running by and she just vanished. The three boys ran out of the castle screaming.
Is the lady in black hiding in the dark?
Oh my God. A shadow moved from the window across behind you.
Or is she plotting her revenge on the team?
Oh my God.
Then, GHI trades the Atlantic for the Pacific in its return to earthquake-stricken New Zealand.
What is that?
That sounded like a voice.
Can they solve this decades-old shotgun slaying?
Who pulled the trigger?
At the Rickerton Racecourse Hotel?
Mr. Fraser, can you make two lights flash? This is weird.
I know.
Hello folks, and welcome to the middle of the Irish Sea. The Isle of Man is famous for many things, but one of them was the ferry bridge. Apparently you have to stop on your way over and leave some gifts. So I hope that you have packed something appropriate. Here we go. One ferry bridge. What have you brought? Well, I see Susie's got a wand. What the hell's that?
I don't know what the hell it is.
I don't know.
It looks like it belongs in a tree.
Oh, stay on.
It's tradition that people will make a wish. And not that I necessarily believe in fairies, but it's meant to give you good luck. So fingers crossed, tonight's actually a little bit lucky for us.
I actually kind of believe in fairies. I definitely respect the little people with wings. I thought it was cool, and I think my wishes will come true eventually.
We have a great case coming up, and Susie's going to give us a download.
Well, team, we're heading over to investigate Castle Rushen. Now, this place is huge and one of the oldest and best preserved medieval castles in the world. It's currently used as a museum and educational center, and our client, Alan, has been getting a lot of visual reports from people who visit. One of the apparitions is known as the Lady in Black, and she's been seen throughout the castle walls. Also, there's an apparition of a small girl. She's about 8 to 10 years old. She likes to tug on jackets and poke at some of the visitors.
Okay, folks, the castle's coming up. Quite a statement, I have to say.
Welcome to Castle Rushen.
Thank you, Alan. So, Alan, what can you tell us about this wonderful castle?
The origins of Castle Rushen date back to 1200. For the next 300 years, up to 1500s, most of the castle was actually built. Later on in life, it became a lunatic asylum. It was also a debtor's prison as well.
So, Alan, we're led to believe that there's some unusual paranormal activity here at the castle. Is it possible we can maybe see where these areas of paranormal interest are happening?
It would be my pleasure. Follow me. We've called GHI in to investigate the castle because we've done many tours inside the castle, and I've seen chaps come running out of the castle screaming. Well, here we are in the 17th century room. This is where the ghost of the little girl was seen.
In the 17th century room, an apparition appeared as a small girl, aged about probably 9 or 10 years. She was wearing a brown, rough material dress. She was barefooted. She had dirty feet. She had rosy cheeks. So we have called her ever since Rose.
Now, why do you think, then, that a commoner from outside in the village, why would they be in here?
Years ago, it was also a debtor's prison as well. Now, if you owned money, your whole family would be thrown in.
Is that the only time she's been seen in this room?
That's the only time she's been seen in this room, but she has been seen in another part of the castle.
All right.
Would you like to go to the next room?
Sure, yes.
We're now in the Lord's chamber. There was a mother and a father, and a little girl came in on a tour. The little girl walked up the stairs to this room. She was looking out the windows, and she heard a noise behind. She turned. In the fireplace was a little girl. The little girl in the fireplace looked at this child. She waved, she smiled, and then she vanished into thin air. She described it as wearing brown, raggy dress, so it looks like Rose haunts this room as well.
Okay, Alan, where are we going next?
Please follow me.
Okay.
you step, or you're going over the side. And it's a long way down.
It's definitely not much to stop you, that's for sure.
This is the condemned cell. If you was waiting for execution, you would spend your last minutes alive before the executioner came and took you away, and you'd be hung by the neck until dead. The last person to be executed on the Isle of Man was John Kiauch on the 1st of August, 1872. He murdered his father.
John was kept here for murder. What other crimes would put somebody in this room?
On the Isle of Man, we actually had 212 reasons why he would be executed, all the way from murder right down to one poor little boy. He was only 8 years old, and he actually found a silk handkerchief in the marketplace, and because he was found with it, he was sentenced to death.
We came in, a group of us. I was sat right at the back by the door, and the door right next to me just swung open, which frightened the life out of me. We thought there was somebody behind the door, but when we went out, there was absolutely nobody there at all.
More steps.
The reason why I brought you up here, because 3 boys who decided to have a look at Castletown right from the top, when suddenly a lady in a black dress came running by. She was wearing a long black dress. She had a black bonnet on her head, white face, and very dark hands. And they said that she just turned and she just vanished. The 3 boys ran from the castle, and they vowed never to come and stay another night in Castle Rushen.
Were there any other claims of activity up here?
No, just a lady in black. That's all we know that haunts this area here.
You want to be careful you don't get pushed down the stairs. I'm just saying.
We just finished the tour with Alan of Castle Rushen, and there's a lot of apparitions here.
OK, Scott, can you move the whole tripod further across that doorway, please?
So I'm definitely interested to see if we'll be able to catch any of these things happening tonight.
Scott, what did you do?
But we are going to tackle this the best we can with our audio and our video equipment and see what we come up with.
Do you know how to focus that in?
Hold on.
You're going the wrong way.
Okay.
How's that?
Finally.
Okay, how's this setup going?
We are ready to rock. What we have here is the very, very top of the building. This lady in black with the very black hands. Then what we have is the 17th century room with these mannequins. We got the little girl that we're looking for. And then what we have is the Lord's chambers, where this same little girl's been seen sitting in the fireplace. And then finally we have the condemned cell, where this door's supposed to fly open.
Okay, great. Let's get those lights out. Let's head to the Lord's chamber.
The king's bedroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would a kid be sitting in a fireplace? It just seems like an odd spot.
I don't get it.
Barry and I were investigating the Lord's chamber, and this is where a little girl had seen a young girl apparition sitting in the fireplace. If you are here, if you are that little girl, can you tell us your name? We just want to know you can hear us.
Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Something just grabbed my leg.
Are you screwing me?
I am not. I am being serious. Just down by my knee.
There's nothing for you to get caught on? Like,
I was in the exact same place. It was the left knee.
you like grabbed or your clothes got tugged?
No, actually grabbed. It felt like a non-threatening small hand just gripped me by the knee.
Did you grab Barry's leg? If you did, could you do it again?
Were you able to come over and sit beside me? Maybe tell me your name. Are you able to touch Chris on the face? Oh my God.
What?
A shadow moved from the window, crossed behind you.
We've heard that people have seen a little girl in here. If you are here, if you are that little girl, Can you tell us your name?
Chris and I come up to investigate the Lord's chamber. This is where reports of a little child appear in the fireplace, and then she vanished. Are you able to touch Chris on the face? Oh my God.
What?
A shadow moved from the window across behind you. Chris and I were conducting an EVP session, and that's whenever I seen a shadow pass in behind Chris.
Have you ever had your picture taken before?
It doesn't hurt.
Barry's taking my picture. You want to come sit next to me? We'll be able to see what you look like. Is there a draft?
I haven't noticed one, but it wouldn't surprise me in the castle. Well, if she's got a voice, I'm sure we'll have caught it.
You want to try another room?
Yeah. Ending EVP session.
Joe and Scott, investigation, condemned cells. John was imprisoned here for murdering his father. Joe and I did focus most of our energy where John was said to have moved a door and scared people with it.
John, are you in here? Are you responsible for the doors swinging open? You get a rise out of scaring people? If I approach the door, will you slam it open and give me a good scare?
All we're asking is for the chance to experience this ourselves. Let's check this door out. And look at the force to it.
So maybe the door was completely latched? Like when people are in here, and then it just swings open.
And you didn't push that.
No, I just let go.
Right, and look at how much force there was behind that.
And that if it wasn't completely latched, and then it swings open and smacks somebody.
We were investigating the claim of the door opening. Now, it's a pretty heavy door and it has a faulty latch, so we're pretty confident that we were able to explain away that claim. Come speak to this box on this bench right here.
Why did you kill your father? We know you were convicted of murder. You stabbed him with a pitchfork.
We need you to come forward now. What the hell is that?
What's that? Does that sound vocal to you?
Yes, it did.
We heard what sounded like a man humming. It was rather a deep male voice. John, are you humming?
Could you do that again for us, please? Could you hum?
Are you afraid to come near us?
We have to make sense of what's been going on here.
Nothing on the millimeter. Temperature's at a constant 61.7. That was creepy.
That was creepy.
Okay, this is an audio session. Paul and Susan, we're in the 17th century room, placing the audio recorder down on the table.
You know, this room does feel a little off for me. Strange feeling in the pit of my chest right here. It's kind of nauseating. Hello? I'm looking for the little girl in this castle.
So Susan and I were investigating the 17th century room, where there's actually a number of claims coming from here. The mannequin's hands moving, the possibility of a little girl in there who goes by the name of Rose.
Can you please tell me your name?
Who's in the room with us right now? Who's in here with myself and Susan? Come on, Rose. Just move something, make a little noise. Just let us know you're here. We're not going to hurt you. We're going to tell you off.
If there's anybody here who can hear my voice, can you please follow it to the room where we're at? Holy, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God.
What?
I just saw something.
Who's in the room with us right now? Who's in here with myself and Susan?
Paul and I are investigating in the 17th century room. I wanted to investigate the claims of this little girl that's been seen in the castle. Holy oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What?
I just saw something. It was amazing. And all of a sudden, I saw what looks like a free-floating ball of mist. It was about this high.
Yeah.
And it was like see-through, and it morphed. It was like this morphing ball of blue mist. It was the craziest thing. Oh my God. It was astonishing to see. Unfortunately, Paul was at the other end of the room that he missed the phenomena, but it was pretty cool. Whoever that was that just passed here on the walkway, can you please come back and meet us? Can you give me some insight or some answer to what it was that I saw?
If that was Rose, I will now ask if you could do it again. Okay, Rose, or whoever's here. We're going to be leaving now. If you have left us a message, we will attempt to pass that on for you. With all the equipment that we were using, I'm hopeful that we're going to capture some of what's actually been going on. EVP session end. This is Paul and Susan in the 17th century room.
It's a heavy door. Well, watch your step. Scott and I were investigating the 17th century room. We were following up on Paul and Susan's earlier experience where Susan felt an uneasy feeling and saw a blue mist. Hello, is there anybody in here? My name is Joe. This is my friend Scott.
Hello?
We were told you might be able to make a blue mist for us.
We need to know if you're in here with us.
Did you show yourself to our friend Susan? Can you appear for us like you did our friend? I hear footsteps.
I heard that.
It sounds like somebody running up the stairs.
Yeah. Are you on here? Are you on steps?
Is there anyone in here with us? Just be quiet for a second. Who is walking around? That doesn't sound like it.
No, it sounded
like
more
wood.
muffled. Yeah, it sounded more like a rug or a wood or something.
Do you want us to go back in that room?
Now, this was another female apparition, I believe.
This is a female.
Barry and I headed up to the top of the keep. It's the highest point of the castle. And the claim up there is that people said that they had seen this woman dressed in black.
EVP session. Barry and Chris on the top of the castle. Chris and I would like to make an appeal to this lady in black who was seen here. We are trying to establish some sort of contact.
Do you understand why we're here? We just want to know what your connection to the castle is.
Are you grieving for someone? Is that why you wear black?
Can you tell me why you stay?
Is it possible you can come forward to us?
How do you feel about my friends and I walking around the castle? Do you want us to leave? I think I just felt a raindrop.
Well, she does make an appearance. We do have a camera here that's running in the EVP session. Okay, guys, I think we've had a great investigation. Let's get the lights back up and get ready to leave. Castle Rushen is a remarkable place. The team themselves had a great investigation, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes forward from analysis.
So we're just about to go into analysis for Castle Rushen. Because we were basically concentrating our DVR on the main tower where most of the claims came from, it did mean that we were going to be using our handheld cameras a lot more. This has meant we've got a lot more tapes to go through. It's going to take us a long time, but hopefully we're going to come up with some answers.
All right, guys, Joe and I were investigating in the 17th century room, and when I was in there, I heard footsteps. They were definitely above me. You were in there, and you reported the exact same thing. Well, I picked it up pretty clearly. So if you guys want to listen to this, give me your take on this, but it's unmistakable.
Let's go for it.
You ready?
That is clear as day.
Wow.
That's a really interesting piece.
Alan, it's good to see you again.
And you.
We believe we have some answers for you.
Excellent.
I know through the night, all of us had some experiences.
Susie and Paul were investigating the 17th century room. She happened to glance out through the door into the stairwell, and there was this blue mist that had formed and then vanished. It was gone so fast.
The other two experiences actually took place in this room.
That's correct. Yes, the large chamber. Yeah. Chris was just sitting down here. She was facing me, and I just happened to notice this small shadow pass round the back. And I was also standing in the fireplace itself. I had just stepped inside, and I felt like a small hand just gripped my knee. But unfortunately, nothing showed up on the DVR camera, I'm afraid.
But we do have a couple of things we do want to show you and see how you feel about them.
So Joe and Scott were working in the condemned cell, and they were looking at this doorway. And we wanted to show you a video. Now, what you're going to see is Scott. He closed the door, and they were just about to walk away. However, he closed the door very fast. Seconds later, the door swung open. Now, he understood at that point what had happened. With him closing the door so fast, the latch hadn't connected properly, and the door has a tremendous weight on it.
That's good to know.
Now, moving on, Alan, during the investigation in the 17th century room, Joe and Scott were conducting an EVP session, and they were recording something unusual.
Now, they're clear footsteps.
They are.
With heavy boots, I would say.
There was no one else in the building. So it was an unusual experience for them to have, of course.
Now, one of the things that happened with Joe and Scott in the condemned cells, they were doing some EVP work when they started hearing this sound in the room that they couldn't explain. They didn't know where it was coming from, and luckily we're able to get it on the audio, so we'll have you take a listen.
What's that?
That's strange.
So it doesn't sound like anything you've heard here before?
No. No, I've not heard anything like that before. It's interesting, that.
We had several interesting experiences, and we did capture a few audio recordings. But for us, we don't feel it's enough that we can call the castle haunted. But it has been a great experience for us, and Alan, we wish you the very best for the future.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Now that GHI revealed their findings to me, it's been really interesting. All the stories that we've got have come from hundreds and hundreds of years, so what they've actually found in one night, it's beyond my wildest expectations.
Well, Chris, there we have it, the Isle of Man. What did you think of it?
A little frustrated, because we all had experiences. We're also able to debunk some things.
But I was really glad we did find evidence which actually gives credence to the claims of activity. Well, let's get back to the team and get ready to leave this island. Welcome, folks, to Christchurch in New Zealand. Scene of a huge, devastating earthquake. As you can see...
This is so insane.
Look at that.
Wow. You'll see the devastation around you. It is really surprising to see what has happened, what the force of nature can do.
Look at this.
Oh, that's a shame.
We've been approached by Anton, our client, who has asked us to come down and have a look at a case called the Rickerton Racecourse Hotel, which did suffer earthquake damage and is under repair. A lot of the activity has increased, according to our client, since the seismic activity has occurred. Susan's going to give us the download.
We are headed to the site of an infamous local murder mystery. A man by the name of Donald Fraser, the owner of the hotel, was shot to death in his bedroom. Oh. Nobody was charged for the crime. 2 apparitions have been seen. A lot of people say that one of the apparitions is actually the ghost of Mr. Fraser himself.
Okay, folks, looks like the building's coming up in front of us. Anton, good to see you.
Welcome to the Racecourse Hotel.
This is Chris.
Nice to meet you.
And Paul.
How you doing?
How you going, mate? Good. I've called GHI in to really investigate this place with what's going on with the earthquakes, and we'd had something like 120% increase in paranormal claims.
We're led to believe that there's quite a history with this place, and of course the big mystery, the murder that happened to the owner, Fraser. Now, what do you know of Fraser, and how did he come to own this establishment?
Donald purchased the hotel in 1929. He loved his horses, and of course this is right next to the Rickerton Racecourse.
Now, I believe that Donald Fraser was quite a guy with a very serious temper. And now some of these temper tantrums, of course, may be coming across into some of the paranormal phenomenon which is reported here.
Donald Fraser's shadow has been seen, and he's been known to interact with patrons in this area. There's a claim of a female walking into the part that would have been male only and being slapped in the back of the head. And this is where a little girl is said to be seen, and she's been seen all over the hotel.
Maybe 1:32 in the morning, and went up to the door, and what I could see was a small girl, 8 to 10 years old, with a little bonnet and the lace-up boots and the old 30s clothing on, and with a wee finger going like this. I said, oh, that can't be right. Up I went and put the lights on and wandered around, couldn't see anything. It's quite uncanny.
So this young girl, she died here?
Yes, she died of tuberculosis. A lot of people call her Gabrielle.
Now, we're led to believe that Donald was murdered as he slept in his bed in this hotel. Is it possible we can see the area where this murder occurred?
Absolutely. Let's go. Welcome to Donald Fraser's room.
Take us through the murder.
Donald Fraser was in bed. The wife simply hears 2 shotgun blasts. The door behind us is ajar, and no one else is to be seen.
It'd be interesting to set the room up exactly the way the murder had occurred.
Yeah, and see if there's any correlation to the footsteps.
With some of the furniture being put back in its place, it might actually attract possibly Donald back to the scene.
I was carrying a bed from one room, putting it into Donald Fraser's room, and I heard a noise, and I turned around, and the floorboards were creaking directly in front of me. I had seen the figure of a male. He was quite tall. I believe the apparition that I seen was Donald Fraser.
There has been audible phenomena. There's also claims of bloody footsteps from the murder scene.
Well, we'll definitely get a look into this. Shall we move on?
Absolutely, let's go. Welcome to room 8. As you can see, this room was the worst affected by the earthquake. The claims in this room are of bloody footprints, and this time they're a little bit different because they're child-sized footprints.
These child's footsteps, who do you think they belong to?
I'm not sure. They are an interesting claim, and that's why GHI's here.
We are trying to chase up the murderer of Donald Fraser. This murder case has lay open since the 1930s. Who was it killed him, and why did they kill him? Just tonight.
What we are dealing with here is a violent murder. We're also looking at the fact this place has had an incredible amount of seismic activity going on. There's all these different things which can sort of bring forth paranormal activity. So I'm interested to see just how much that's going to affect tonight's investigation. Guys, cameras are all set. We are ready to rock.
Paul, how's your coverage?
What we have is Donald Fraser's room, obviously where this murder took place. And we also have the hallway outside. We have the room where the bloody child's footsteps reported being seen in the floor. Here's the main hallway.
Good setup. And let's get those lights out and start this investigation. Go.
Gabrielle, don't be afraid of us. All we want to do is talk with you.
Joe and I were investigating the Rickerton Racecourse Hotel bar area to follow up on claims of the sighting of a little girl, Gabrielle, Once we get situated, I got this new device. It's a ambient temperature deviation device. It measures significant temperature fluctuations. If it goes up by 5 degrees or more, a red light will light up and it'll sound. If it drops more than 5 degrees, a blue light will come on and it'll sound.
Great.
Please come forward. Come join us. I know you might be scared. We do not mean you any harm.
Nobody can hurt you anymore.
Please come forward. We've all these lights here for you to play with. Come look at them. Please come forward. We've all these lights here for you to play with. Come look at them.
Scott and I are investigating the bar area, and with us we had the ambient temperature deviation device.
Little girl, is that you?
As soon as he put it down, it started going crazy. And we think we might begin some kind of communication through his device.
Little girl, could you come over to that device again and make it go off? Please make that light go off again. We just need to know. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Wow. Okay, can you make that stop now? Thank you.
Is anyone in here with us? What is that?
That sounded like a like a voice.
That did. That was creepy.
It sounded vocal.
That sounded vocal. At one point, Joe and I both heard clearly the sound of wailing of a young girl.
Little girl, are you here? That sounded like footsteps.
That sounds like it's footsteps right behind us. Gabrielle, is that you? Please come forward. Come to myself or my friend Joe.
Wow, I felt like something touched the back of my knee.
Really?
Gabrielle, are you hiding behind me? Did I feel you touch the back of my leg?
Are you with us? Did you do that?
And I thought I felt something touch the back of my leg. Was it the little girl? I'm not sure. So hopefully that she's communicated in some way.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Let's have a look in here.
Bloody footprints. It's so weird.
Chris and I moved into room 8, where these bloody footsteps were said to appear.
No, there's nothing here that looks like blood.
We couldn't see any trace of any blood left on the carpet. So what we did, we brought in some fluorescein. This reacts to the protein in the blood and causes it to fluorescence under ultraviolet light. We may as well spray the floor of Fraser's room.
Okay.
We'll see if any of those bloody footsteps appear here.
What is it supposed to look like if there is blood?
It goes black. Okay, there we go. There's some paint. Nothing. So there's no traces of blood protein. We were hoping to see any of those traces of blood. It's quite unknown as to why a series of bloody footsteps would appear. EVP session, Barry and Chris, Donald Fraser's room. Donald Fraser, you were murdered in bed, face down. Do you know who done this? Give us a clear answer on the device on the table. Who pulled the trigger? You're a bad-tempered son of a bitch.
Maybe you got what you deserved.
You drunken ass. Donald was a very aggressive man, and I believe that he may respond better to anger. So the questions that Chris and I were giving to him were more aggressive.
We heard you were drunk.
Your sad ass was carried to bed, and then you were shot in the chest. Were you aware that your wife was cheating on you? What do you say about that? Are you getting annoyed? And I pray to God that Donald has answered our question. Ending EVP session.
Donald Fraser, are you here? Are you with us? Are you in this bar? Do you know who killed you?
A lot of people think that your wife has something to do with this.
Susan and I decided to investigate the restaurant, the last place Fraser actually had his last drink. We basically came out here using the laser grid, trying to take some photography, and we're also using this new Mel meter that flashes lights and beeps when it detects high EMF. Okay, now.
Mr. Fraser, no one knows who's responsible for killing you.
Mr. Fraser, if you're able to come towards us, if you're able... Can you make two lights flash? This is weird.
I know.
Whoever this is, whether it be Gabrielle or Donald.
Mr. Fraser, if this is you, you can stop now.
Yo, I need you to make that stop.
I'm not sure, you know, because it just seems to be so consistent.
It's not reacting, you know, we're asking it to stop, it doesn't stop. So you also need to look at the fact that that could be an increase of natural EMF just taking off now.
Do you think that this has anything to do with the fact that there have been so many earthquakes here?
Yeah. Don't believe there's anything paranormal. In fact, it's entirely environmental. With the seismic activity that's been going on and the earthquakes and whatnot, you know, it's no wonder there's a lot of this natural EMF floating around.
Okay, guys, I think we've had a really good investigation here. Let's get the equipment packed up. I think we've had a great investigation here at the Riccarton Racecourse Hotel.
At one point, Scott and I were having some activity. In the bar area, we were getting some pretty good hits. And hopefully, with the equipment that we had running, we'll have some answers for this puzzle.
Folks, that was a good case, and Paul, you've done good work in getting that equipment packed up in pronto time.
Also, guys, I want to let you know, a lot of the hotels and motels have been booked due to the fact that families are staying there because of the earthquakes. Fortunately, Anton says that he could hook us up with a place to stay for tonight.
Well, this has to be it.
Oh my God. Well, I guess there's a first for everything.
I have to say, it's actually better than I thought.
I love it.
Too, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Came out, I was kind of bummed. I'm like, we're all going to have to bunk with each other? Like, ugh.
I lucked out with Susan.
Well, Joe snores.
It's been kind of neat here in New Zealand because we're all kind of staying in a house rather than a hotel.
And
It was nice to see Scott and Susie cooking.
a shot of every dish. Wow.
All right, guys, it's done.
Okay.
Then we all ended up eating, I don't know if you'd call it breakfast or lunch together. I mean, for us, technically, it's breakfast. We just got up.
That was delicious. I'm so full.
Scott, I will give you 5 out of 10 for that.
You can't give me a 5 out of 10 if you don't try anything, Barry.
That's why.
It looked like everyone liked it. I hope they don't get too used to it because I don't want to be known as the resident cook, but I wouldn't mind cooking again in the future.
We're just about to go into analysis now for the Riccarton Racecourse Hotel. Now it's time to go through our data and determine what's actually going to come from this investigation.
One of the things I caught, guys, was, Joe, you and I were in the bar, and we heard the footsteps. We were worried it wouldn't get picked up, but we picked it up. So if you guys want to hear it, let me know what you think.
Do take a listen.
That sounded like footsteps.
That sounds like it's footsteps right behind us.
Yeah, I hear that.
I hear it.
Just hear it?
I know that we were upstairs.
We were there, yeah, when you guys
we were downstairs, you guys were upstairs.
Yeah, and in fact, we have the footage here, actually. You can see Susan and I in here.
Yeah. I had my boots were...
Just digging into that ground, huh? Okay, well, there you go.
Anything else? We got anything else?
Okay, now, I've got a piece when Scott and I were in the bar area. I was asking EVP questions, and I've got something.
Cool.
Why were you so belligerent?
No way.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Anton, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
We took a look at this claim of bloody footprints, and we used a particular chemical called fluorescein. There was no physical dried blood resembling any sort of footprints around the meat.
Okay.
Could mean that what the people were seeing would be like seeing an apparition that's not physically there.
Interesting. Thank you.
Some of the personal experiences, of course, led through to Joe and Scott, who were working down in the bar, and Joe had felt something brushed by his leg.
Come to myself or my friend Joe.
Wow, I felt like something touched the back of my knee.
Really?
During our investigation, we were able to get one thing that was questionable, and we want you to take a listen to it. It's actually Joe and Scott. They're investigating downstairs in the old bar area.
Okay.
Why were you so belligerent?
It's amazing, yeah. I don't know.
During the analysis, that's what we were hearing as well.
Yeah.
So do you think that Donald Fraser maybe is living in some sort of denial, maybe in the spirit world?
Very confused. I mean, I think an angry man in life is a confused person. He probably can't make sense of it. Yeah. It's it's an amazing piece, and it's very clear. It very easily stands out on the first listen. It was very clear of what it said. So no, it's heaps.
With everything that we've done, we were using all the different types of equipment.
Yep.
We didn't see enough that we would call the hotel haunted.
Okay.
The whole case was interesting for us. I mean, I've always been big into true crime and reading up on Donald's case.
Yeah.
I know this is something people are still talking about in the area.
Yeah.
And for us, it's kind of unfortunate to not be able to make some sense out of the case for you. It's, whether or not Donald's still here is still a mystery, really, at this point.
Fortunately, there wasn't just enough coming back for us.
No, well, thank you, and very impressed with what you did catch. And thank you for coming in and helping us try to get to the bottom of the Racecourse Hotel. And good luck on your next case.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. The Riccarton Racecourse Hotel has had an ongoing mystery to it. And, G.I. has definitely helped us to get some answers. What they caught for that one night, for me, is really exciting.
What a case, Chris. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad that Anton appreciated the work that we put in and what we were able to present to him.
I really like the whole murder mystery part of it.
So it's going to be something which is going to remain a mystery and go down in the history books of New Zealand. I suppose we better get back to the barn, pick up the team if they haven't killed each other, of course.